Good evening. My name is Tracy, and I am the youngest daughter of Sheila, Zichrono Livracha. When I was approached by Jet to let me know that they were considering honoring my mom at this year's Jewish Unity Live event, I was very touched. There is no doubt that she is deserving of this honor. I was then asked to make a video in which I would reminisce about my mom. Without hesitation, I agreed to do so. It turns out it was a much more difficult task than I had imagined. Where do I start? Will I be able to respectfully honor her memory and all that she did and who she was? How can a few words encompass all that I feel about my mom? For some people, it takes losing a loved one to realize how much they meant to them. Fortunately for me, I knew from a very young age how lucky I was to have my mom in my life. I always admired her. For me, she wasn't just a mom. She was my best friend, my confidant, and the person I could turn to about anything at any time. Her unending strength and wisdom, and her ability to always say the right thing at the right time, always amazed me. I have endless memories of my mom for which I am grateful. So many of them are extremely personal and too difficult to share. So instead, I will recount some of the qualities that made her who she was, and which have also left a lasting impact and influence on me. There can be no recollection of my mom without mentioning her parents, Sam and Jean, Yospa and Shmuel Ackerman. She was a doting, loving daughter to my wonderful grandparents, whom she cherished and missed dearly. Her examples of respecting and loving her parents was a model for me. One can also not think of my mom without mentioning her benevolence, volunteerism, and her steadfast Zionism. I have my mom to thank for teaching me to be charitable, honest, kind, to love and support Israel, and to be proud that I am Jewish. My lasting memories of my mom are simple. A hard-working, honest, humble pillar of strength who loved unconditionally and selflessly, who persevered even when life was extremely challenging. She never asked for help, but was always willing to give it. She never complained. She never forgot where she came from. She stayed true to herself. She was a loyal and supportive friend. I am honored, privileged, and lucky to be her daughter.
I'm Cindy Nelson, and I am Sheila's middle daughter. Thank you for doing this for my mother. Sheila Hartman. When I think of my mom, the first thing that comes to mind is Yiddishkeit. My mom was the embodiment of what it means to be a Jewish mother, and she was so proud of her Jewish heritage. She would find a way to weave Judaism or Jewish values into everyday life. The way she kept her home, the way she raised her children, the way she perceived the world, and the way she contributed to society were all influenced and steeped in Judaism. She kept a kosher home. She made sure that we all had a Jewish education. She was extremely active in the Jewish community, being involved with Hadassah, UJA, Israel Bonds, Hillel Lodge. Her love of Israel and the Jewish people was fierce. She was one of Israel's greatest defenders and supporters, and she was unwavering in her support of Israel. She was a lion for the Jewish people in Israel. She imparted her love and passion for the Jewish people in me, and her gift to me is powerful because it has shaped me and my values as a Jew. Her legacy lives on in me, and now lives on in my two children as I make Judaism a priority in our family. It is because of her that I keep a kosher home, have mezuzot on every doorpost in my home, and send my children to Jewish school. It is because of her that I am a staunch Zionist, and the reason I pass on my love of Israel to my children. When we travel, I hear my mom's voice telling us to kiss the mezuzah before we leave and to recite the Tefillat Haderach, and so we do. Because of my mom, living a Jewish life is not only important to me, but it has become a way of life and the only way I could ever live. Even her Yiddish sayings are with me and part of my daily lexicon, like a Yiddish cup, a mazel dekatug, ganze gedila, spilkas, mishagas, seichel. My mother was the epitome of a Yiddish mama. She was strong and devoted to her family and community. She was the head of the household, and she taught her children how to live a life of tzedakah, chesed, kihila, all the values that define Judaism. She loved to sing, especially in shul, or when it was a Hebrew song like Yerushalayim Shel Zahav. She was deeply connected to everything Jewish. It was visceral for her, and she recognized how special and remarkable our history is and our people is, and she made it her business to teach us this. I am so proud of being Jewish because of my mom. Memories and tradition. It is all that we have left. But the traditions we keep preserve the memories. It is so wonderful that you are honoring my mom today. She is so deserving of this honor, and she would have been so proud to receive this special tribute this evening. Thank you for remembering her today. She was a Gitta Neshuma, a good soul, and she always did the right thing. She was truly a Yiddish mama. Not to hold her dear is truly the greatest sin. How lucky and rich is the one who is such a beautiful gift presented from God, like a Yiddish mama. Thank you so much.
My name is Rosalind Kimmel, and this is my tribute to Sheila that I would like to share with you. Sheila Shulamit Ackerman Hartman, a woman to be admired, a woman who never sought out personal glory or recognition, but worked diligently for two things: the betterment of Jewish life in our community and her family. Her sudden passing has left a huge void personally for me, her family, and our community. She worked with her heart and soul for many organizations, but her commitment to Hillel Lodge and the elderly was her priority, whether it was playing Scrabble in the home of a senior, which she did on a weekly basis for years, or her involvement in the organizing and participating in an event at the Hillel complex. Sheila was welcomed into this world, not at a starchy, clean white hospital, but at a displaced persons camp in Europe, where she was born after World War II, to two of the happiest people in the world. To her parents, both of whom survived the Nazi extermination camps, the birth of their special daughter was the highlight of their lives. Sheila never had siblings. To our good fortune, the Ackermans ended up in Ottawa. Both her parents worked very hard, her mother in kosher catering, and my husband, by the way, loved her cooking, and her dad, who worked as an upholsterer. The children that she came in contact with were not accepting of her and often laughed and made fun of her because of her out-of-fashion clothes or European mannerisms. She could not participate in extracurricular programs. The Ackermans struggled, certainly not from a lack of effort, but a lack of money. Her parents worked hard and never stopped moving forward. Sheila worked beside her husband Larry for 50-plus years, built a family, a kosher home, and a business. Life certainly changed for this little girl who arrived in Canada broke. They traveled, they explored, they laughed, they cried. She learned how to play golf, how to ski, how to play bridge, and took great pride in decorating their beautiful homes. She had the most infectious laugh, as many of you will remember, and a great sense of humor. But Sheila never forgot where she came from, her roots. Many of us are generous with our checkbooks. Sheila was certainly that, but Sheila went much further. She gave of her time and made every effort to help others. In 1990, I accompanied Sheila on a Federation mission to Poland and Israel. Sheila wanted to go to the village where her family lived, to seek out her roots. We did. What an experience that proved to be. It will remain with me all of my life. There is a void in our lives now, but the example that she set for all of us lives on. May her name, Sheila Shulamit Ackerman Hartman, be blessed and live on to continue her good work in making our community better for all of us.
Jed is very appreciative of the opportunity to pay tribute to such a special lady as Sheila Hartman. We are especially thankful to Larry and to Sheila for the support they have provided to Jet for so many years, enabling us to continue to have a significant impact in the Ottawa Jewish community.
She was an extraordinary person with so many qualities.
She personified a Bubby.
She adored her family and was very proud of their individualism as they grew into adulthood. While she loved her family, her joy transferred to the nachas she felt for her 3 grandchildren. I enjoyed seeing her collection of photos whipped out as she spoke so lovingly of each. As many of us will recall, Sheila was an incredibly devoted daughter, as well as wife to Larry for over 50 years, and together they raised Marnie, Cindy, and Tracy.
Knowing Tracy allows us to see firsthand the continuation of the commitment to family, to community, and to Yiddishkeit.
I remember the wonderful way in which she cared for her dear mom.
Sheila was more than a wife, mother, and Bubby. She was a dedicated volunteer, both leading organizations and providing assistance in a variety of important causes. Beyond fundraising events to help her community, both Jewish and non-Jewish, she quietly contributed her time to assisting others on a personal level, whether it was helping with the bingo at Hello Lodge, friendly visits to those in need, or quietly contributing financial assistance when required.
Sheila volunteered in so many organizations. She was involved in so many aspects of the community.
Sheila and myself were a team for 15 years at the lodge. Sheila was a very strong force with the auxiliary of Hillel Lodge. She loved to do the birthday bash and dance with our residents to the tunes of Evelyn Greenberg playing the piano.
Her happiness was contagious. Her smile was contagious.
Loved to laugh, loved to have other people laugh with her. Always giving, always caring.
My memories of Sheila was the kindest and most sensitive person.
I remember any time I was in the presence of Sheila, I was enamored by the way she was able to make anyone feel comfortable.
Very generous, never said no, always ready to help.
There was not a selfish bone in her body. Everything was about the other person and the care and love she had to others.
She never forgot her roots, and she treated everyone equally.
She was a true Eshes Chayil.
She did not like to waste time.
She always said thank you. She always remembered special dates. She always sent gifts. She was really on top of things.
Finally, and most personally, Sheila was a dedicated friend who would make sure never to miss a milestone, such as a birthday or anniversary, and to attend all simchas as she celebrated her dear friendships with total love.
Sheila never wanted to be in the spotlight, and she never had to be asked to help.
It was all part of her natural persona.
Her humility and sensitivity are something that I myself look up to all the time.
Sheila was and is still an inspiration to so many of us.
Sheila was kind, but she was humble. She did it quietly. She got things done.
Her life and her goals were to bring joy to others. Materialism meant nothing to her.
She did what needed to be done and did it without noise. She did it, and she did it well.
And you continue to be a moral barometer in my life for how to live with ethics, with morality, and how to treat other people.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of her.
I hope that Sheila's memory continues to evoke such wonderful thoughts about the life that she lived and the great encouragement and vigor that she gave to so many individuals.
It is those dinners, lunches, phone calls, and dates that will be missed by so many of us. Rest in peace, dear Sheila. Like others, Manny and I were privileged to call you our dear friend.
I will always treasure the special friendship we had together and the times we spent together.
I was truly blessed to have her in my life. And Sheila will always be in my heart.